Okay, the truth is, my Eurowings A319 flight from Stuttgart to London wasn't actually my first one. 2 weeks prior to that, I had flown from the city of Vienna, Austria to Stuttgart, Germany on Eurowings flight 2755. It was operated by an Airbus A320 with Sharklets. There's a reason why I uploaded the trip on the A319 first, and I'll explain later. But yeah, Eurowings has 3 different flights that perform this route, a morning one, an evening one, and a night one. None of them are daily though. The one I'm taking is scheduled to be the early evening flight, and this one only goes on Sundays and Fridays. Most of the time, however, it's operated by Avion Express Malta and uses one of their planes. And when it's Eurowings operated, it's usually an A319, but I happen to be on one of the uncommon occurrences when the airline puts one of their own A320s on the route. Anyways, now we'll get into the video. Enjoy!
Can you tell me what is going on inside your mind? Cause you're so hard to read, it's like you're tangled in the lies. You tell me one thing, do another. Tell me where you stand. Tell me what is going on tonight inside your mind. Cause this isn't the way that we planned it. We never allow for a broken heart. This isn't the way that we dreamt of living, drifting further apart. What happened?
Die Gepäckstruktur wird aufsichtig vorgefunden. Attention, passenger,
What happened to living like forever young? Seems like we're living in a nightmare. Is this just this?
Il y a personne qui la veut. Hein. Tu peux signer dans le compagnie, mais ça c'est un job où il faut travailler, il faut être sur place, il faut pouvoir aller locataire.
Welcome on board the Eurowings Airbus A320. For starters, the seats have 30 inches of legroom, which would be fine for someone who isn't that tall like me. However, it'd be different for those who are 6 foot and above. The aircraft does have the signature Eurowings interior, which uses the same seats as Lufthansa. They unfortunately lack in padding and aren't the most comfortable, but they're enough for an hour-long flight. To sum up, the signature hard product isn't that different from the ex-Air Berlin interior I got on my Eurowings A319 flight. Furthermore, you can tell that this A320 is relatively new compared to other ones of its type, judging by the cabin. Anyone recognize that aircraft? Parked beside us is the Austrian Airlines Retrojet, making a second appearance on the K4E Diamond channel. Check out my review on that exact plane, uploaded before this video. Around the time we started pushback, the captain was able to inform us about the delays that added up to over 2 hours. Apparently, there was a storm in Stuttgart, and that's what prevented this aircraft from leaving there until much later. So, it turned out not to be the fault of the airline. However, little did I know that a storm was heading over here to the Vienna area too.
Bevor Ihnen darüber hinaus leisten Sie den Hinweisschildern sowie Instruktionen der Besatzung gestellt.
We are finally taking off, about 2 hours and 20 minutes late. Okay, so I didn't get much of it on video, but throughout most of the flight there was some crazy turbulence due to the storm along our route path. We did get somewhat away from it, but that wasn't enough to significantly minimize the turbulence. I forgot to do this back in Vienna, so right now we'll take a closer look at our seat and check out the seat pocket contents. We got a tray table, it's got 2 cup holders, that's very nice. And in the seat pocket we got a safety card. And I believe this is the Eurowings in-flight magazine, just normal airline magazine, I guess. I don't usually take a big look at these, but I usually try to find the route map, which was right there, and also to see if they got the fleet list. And not really, they don't really have much about Eurowings except the route map and the Wi-Fi and in-flight entertainment stuff. Here is the Wings shopping magazine for those who want to buy accessories and other stuff on board. They also have a buy on board menu. They have no complimentary service though. And now, as you can see, we have hit an enormous area of turbulence because we're flying through a rain cloud. And this is only some of what we got throughout this flight. Of course, I'm the kind of guy who likes turbulence sometimes, so that made the flight a lot more fun for me. However, it did cause a significant problem affecting this review. Since the turbulence lasted throughout the majority of the flight, the seatbelt sign never turned off, and the cabin crew were unable to come around the cabin at all. So yeah, even if you weren't broke like me and wanted to buy something on board, you were out of luck. And this is why I decided to upload this review after the Stuttgart to London one. Since the cabin crew didn't come around, the service level was not the same as it would be on a normal flight, so I figured it'd only be fair if I published my experience with the actual service first, so there'd be a more accurate initial rating. It wasn't until that flight that I knew for sure they had no complimentary service anyway.
Fast and you feel comfortable during deboarding. We kindly ask you to keep as much distance as possible from your fellow passengers. We will therefore ask you, as our guests,
We are back in Germany. This flight, well, it was okay for a 55-minute long one, but the final score will be affected by the complications due to the storm, which caused delays and lack of service on board. The only service I saw during this entire flight was the cabin crew handing out disinfectant wipes during boarding, but I completely understand why. It is never a good idea for cabin crew to stand up during severe turbulence, and like I said, it was present the entire flight. It wouldn't even be much better without the turbulence since everything is by on board, but once again, that's nothing unusual on a low-cost carrier. The delay, caused by the storms, also had an impact because we arrived almost 2 hours late. And yes, this is going to affect the score a lot, but I want all of you viewers to know that this doesn't happen very often with Eurowings. In fact, the flight I took has a fantastic track record, but I just happened to be on the odd one out, and storms are factors that are out of the airline's control, so what can you really do? Final score is 5 out of 10. To sum up, this was definitely not at Eurowings' best, but I can't blame them. I strongly believe that my second Eurowings flight with the A319 depicts their standards more accurately, and you can check out my review. It was flight EW2462, Stuttgart to London.
Ich merke mich gleich wieder.